Hey everyone, so I haven't really done an update in a really long time, so I thought it'd be a really good idea to do an update for all of you. As you may know, starting this Thursday, or actually, well, for me, starting Monday, it gets a little bit crazy, but starting Thursday, Halloween Haunt finally opens up. I'm so excited to be doing Halloween Haunt again, my second year. Last year was Uncle Bobo's. I was on call talent, so I didn't actually get called in until 3 weeks, with 3 weeks left of the run. So I only got 3 weeks to work with my baby. The one maze with clowns and the poop jokes and everything. But this year I'm working Forevermore. So the basic storyline of the maze is a killer has been doing a string of murders that the media has called the Forevermore murders. And the way that all of the victims die similar to how all of the victims in Edgar Allan Poe stories die. It's a really awesome maze. So this past week, everybody on a maze got Scare School. Now, if you're not familiar with Scare School is essentially where they go in to train you. It's a 3-hour process, but it's the best fun I think I've ever had with working Haunt so far, besides the actual scaring. Because if it's a new maze that you're in, you get the opportunity to actually see the maze before a lot of people do. You get pretty much told about the whole thing. You get to actually stand in one of the rooms, the one that you're working in, just for the heck of it. So how it works, so we walked in. They kind of showed us where everything was. We have Warehouse P and then Crow's Nest, where we can eat, and then we're actually right next to, if you're familiar with the whole layout of Knott's Berry Farm and Halloween Haunt, we're actually located the Mystery Lodge. Our maze goes through the back of the thing, so you actually go through the line to get to Forevermore. It's really awesome. It is set in modern day America, so that's how everyone works. Anyways, so they brought us in, showed us where all this stuff is, and then they walked us through the maze. No media, no effects, nothing. It was a little creepy because in some of the rooms it was actually pitch black almost, and we couldn't actually see anything, like pretty much anything. It was really creepy and it was really scary. So it's a really awesome process. I absolutely love it, and for the first time for me, actually going through Scare School after having watched it for several YouTube videos for the past couple years, it's been really awesome. And then I got the opportunity to do it. So the way the maze works is that in every room that you go through, from the murderer's house on, from after the murderer's house on, every room is stored from the Raven. Or from the Raven on is all Edgar Allan Poe. So it's the Raven, and then it's the... Oh my god, what are they? I forget the order. It's the Raven, and then the Once Upon a Midnight Dreary, Murder in the Rue Morgue, the System of Dr. Tarr, Professor Fether, that's my room, and then you've got the Telltale Heart, the Black Cat Forest, it's really creepy, the Pit and the Pendulum, the Cask of Amontillado, and then the Mask of the Red Death, and then you exit. What I did not know, and was actually even better, and I think makes the maze even cooler, is not only does it have a fantastic soundtrack, they also play the narration of passages from the story through every room. It's just is that one story. So you have the Raven, and then you've got the Murder in the Rue Morgue, and then there's monsters who are killing. Now there are 3 classes or 3 categories as to who the talent are, or what the talent does. So you are either Forevermore Killer himself, obviously. You are either a victim of the Forevermore killings, or you are pretty much someone that has been drugged and has been ordered by the Forevermore Killer to kill for him. It's pretty awesome. I'm one of those. Those are pretty awesome. So you walk through, it starts off as like a news media people, and then you walk into the house. And then my favorite one, I can't really say what it is. Actually, my favorite room out of all of them is at the very end, and it's the Mask of the Red Death, because it's set in a club, and I'm used to club settings, I guess. But it was funny just walking through. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, like freaking out because I'm not used to actually walking through mazes like that. It's just weird for me. And I'm doing it Wednesday, which makes no sense to me at all because you'd think this one who just decides not to, just to chicken shit on everything, decides not to do it, but I'm gonna do it. Monday is our street dress rehearsal, then I am on Tuesday, and then Wednesday. So I'm gonna go see those, and I'm excited. So we're doing that. Then they had us pretty much sit with all of it. Now, the system of Dr. Tarr, Professor Fether, if you've never heard the stories, there is a gentleman who hears of a private, very well-famous private madhouse, well-known famous madhouse in France, who uses this very interesting system by by Professor Fether and Dr. Tarr. And that is essentially treat the assailants like normal human beings. Yeah, whatever. So you go. So in the story, he finds out that all of the assailants have actually taken over, and they start acting weird. So one acts like a teapot. I'm a little kettle, short and stout. Here's the handle. Here's the spout. Someone acts like a frog. Someone kicks their legs up like a donkey. So ours is, again, it's a little bit different because it is a modern version of it. So it's actual people killing people in the way that they died. So the way my room works, I'll explain to you how my room works. My room works is it's a long but very thin room. So it's long, very thin. So you walk in, it's got two rooms. There's an antechamber and then the actual room. So you come out of Murder in the Rue Morgue, and then you come out of this apartment from the Rue Morgue room, and then you come outside, and then you see this entrance to a psychiatric hospital. And then you walk in, there's an antechamber, so there's a little tiny corner for someone to hide in, and then there's a door. Now the door also has, it's got a window that obviously you can look, that actually talent can look through, and they control also they also are scaring people through the Raven room. There's a window for them to get them, which is really cool. So you go through the antechamber, and then you come in. Now, one thing that really actually makes me really excited about the maze, and I actually was like, oh my god, is that every room, the title of the story is smeared in blood. Oh, it makes my heart sink inside. It's so beautiful. So you see it, and it'll say like so if you're coming up to the next room, it'll say so you go through the psychiatric thing, and then the first wall you see that's like the furthest from you says Dr. Tarr, and then the next wall, like on this side, on the other side of this table, and I'll explain a little bit, says Professor Fether, and you see it, and it's like, oh, it's so cool. So you walk into the room. You pretty much stay to the left side of the room, closest to one of the walls, because on the right side where the Professor Fether wall is, it's a long table, and it's got six dead people all over the top of the table, and they've literally been tarred and feathered and just dead, and we named them. So if you ever see them, we start from, I'm trying to remember the best way to, I'm trying to point here, but okay, so if you ever go through the maze, this one right here, this girl with her head down or her hair out, that is Roxanne. The two with their backs to each other, or not to the backs, like sitting with backs to each other, is Sam and Dean Winchester from Supernatural. I did not name him. I did not name them. It wasn't me. Then there's one with his butt towards you. We called him Dr. Boxer. Dr. Boxer, and then he's laying on another body flat out, and we called him the Doctor. You know, why not? Then there's one guy closest to the exit door to get to the next room, and he's got this huge afro, so I named him Jerome. So his name is Jerome, the cleaning man. It's really cool. And the whole entire walls, they're gray, and then they're smeared in tar, and then there's tables and chairs and stuff. And I'm pretty certain we can jump or stand on the table and freak out and stuff, which is cool. And then what's even funnier is the Guinness Book of World Records pages on them, and then they've been plastered on, which is really funny. And then there's 3 like fluorescent lights hanging above them, and they flicker. They look, it's like a strobe effect almost, but it's doom, 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 and then it's replaying the thing. And I'm already telling, by the time I'm done with this maze, I'm gonna stab the speakers because of how, just like how like in your head that thing is. I'm like, oh. So anyway, so we went through it. They literally gave us time to just work by ourselves, with all 5 of us in that room, just working. Just like, hey, let's figure some stuff out. Then we had our cast lead come through and say, this is what you're doing. This is how you can do this, 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 and this. And then they said, okay, they're coming through, and we're like, what? So I'm surprised that they didn't stop and like say, oh, you know, try this or really work with you. It was kind of like, let's throw you in, see what you can do. So they came through, and I came with this really funny idea. I'm usually afraid of like dead things, or not dead things, but like of like mannequins, even though they're not real. But you know, I'm saying like they look dead and stuff. They're just sitting there like afraid they're gonna move or something. So I actually, by the time that the first walkthrough came around, they I started messing with one of Jerome's foot, so I was like this, and then I turn around and I start to go, you know, and get all creepy and stuff, and then I get close to their like ear, like about this much away, and then squawk at them, so I go, squawk! And they're like, oh shit. So then, if that wasn't funny enough, they're trying to get everything on. So that meant that the sound and all the audio would come on, and at one point the audio came on, the lights came off, I'm like, oh shit! And I freaked out, and actually pretty much entertained the 4 people in my maze. Now, what's even funnier is that in that room, it's me, a male blackout, and then 4 female talent. So I'm technically the only talent, the only guy talent in that room. And then I have another friend that they switch. So one of my friends, Miss Roberta, and then my friend Jessica, can switch out because she's breaking, yeah, they're all breaking, so we can all pretty much screw around and have our way. So then they turn the media on, have us come through, and there's media people walking through. There's media people walking through to see the scare school, because they want to see what it's like, because it's like, you don't usually get to see the talent, not in their costume and all their face and stuff. So, so they came through, and there's this one guy, I will never forget it. So the first time, he's just like, oh my god, what's going on? Like, oh my god. Second time around, with everything on, he's just like, oh, oh. So I got him good. I go, so I like this and stuff, and all creepy, and I go, ah! And he's, ah! It was the funniest thing I think I've ever been through, and it was just completely awesome. Like, it just made my night. And then, if you guys don't know about Trapped is a very exclusive reservation-only maze, that is like $60, but they're upping it. It's called, well, not upping the price, but they're upping the quality. The whole thing is Trapped, the new experiment. So it's in the Boardwalk Ballroom, as part of Carnival, not where it used to be, near where the laser zone was. It's further, kind of near Boomerang. If you've been there, it's right next to Boomerang. But this time it's longer, it's scarier, and they said that when it's up and running and all the effects and media have gone up, that essentially, I'm going to stand for a little bit, that essentially when it's up and running, none of the designers will walk through it. So every scare school and the street dress rehearsal, they're going to be getting, whoever scares the best gets this golden ticket. And because ours is the biggest, they were only picking 3 people. This time, because our maze is the biggest, we have like 40 talent in that one maze, just that one maze. It's the longest maze. So they picked 6, and I'm actually one of the 6. So I actually got a ticket. I was really excited. My favorite part is they were like saying, okay, so this person, this person, this person. So there was a guy at the very beginning. He plays like, I guess it's a news reporter, but he's near this van. sorry if I seem weird, because I just like to stand. So there's this guy who is who's near this news reporter van as you walk in the maze. Well, it's like a ramp down, and then you see the van, and then you see him, and then there's a camera knocked all over the place. So I'm pretty certain he's the killer. I think he's the killer. It's Clue. He killed someone in the garden with the camera or some shit like that. He got one. There's a section right before Murder in the Rue Morgue or Once Upon a Midnight Jury. One of those ones. It's a cage in the walls. It's a metal walls and then the cage right in the dead center. And you walk through and there's a blackout. He's got a button and the walls cave the fuck in. I was like, what? I didn't get to see it, so I was really excited. And then so they're trying to remember who it is. It's Brooke Walters and Ian. If you know them. So pretty much, they're naming off who, like, they're just trying to describe who was who. So then I hear, oh, guy in the tank top in the Tarr and Fether room. And my two friends go, oh, that's Forrest. I'm like, what? So they gave me, so the way she described me was pretty funny. I was like, yay, I'm so excited. So I got the ticket. Unfortunately, I'm not going in because if the designers won't walk through that thing, I'm not walking in there. Not happening. So it was really funny, and I'm excited. It means I'm doing really good, which means if you go to Haunt and you walk into my maze and you step through my room and I'm in that room, you're fucked. Just a friendly warning, you know. So that pretty much is the update. Again, we open this Thursday, the 26th. Hope you guys can come see it. Remember, Forevermore, Mystery Lodge, the Tarr and Fether room. Remember, you'll be fucked. Alright, bye everyone.